what are some qualities that a man of God's looking for? Start ruffling some feathers.
This is about to ruffle a lot of feathers.
Ask yourself, if somebody said I'm just like this person, would it be a compliment or would I be offended? If you were giving advice to a girl and you're like, this is how to stay out of a situationship, what would you say?
They're getting themselves into this predicament because they're not.
I love that you mentioned that you approach somebody out in, I call it in the wild, like outside of an app is in the wild.
Yeah.
But what did she do that like showed you, or I guess opened the door for you to come and pursue? Was it like, did she look at you? Did she smile? Or did you just see her and you're like, let me go?
Yeah. So I don't believe that there was any eye contact. Actually, this is going to blow the waters off. I don't think because what happened was I seen her at the self-checkout and I was checking out and she was like at the one beside me and I, you know how you like, I look once and I looked again.
Yeah.
And she was already bagging up when I had just started checking it out. I was like, hold up. I who is that? I want to introduce myself.
Yeah.
So I finished, but I didn't have many items, so it's good. Finished. I'm sorry. I'm like, okay, this is funny thinking about this memory. And I walked out and I didn't see, it was nighttime, by the way. So this was really a risky situation in a parking lot, nighttime, leaving Walmart.
You chased her down.
I wouldn't say I chased.
I love that though.
But, well, I guess, I mean, I did look for her. So I guess it is kind of technically chase. But yeah, so it was like a sketchy situation, late night, Walmart, parking lot, you know, the worst time to approach somebody.
Right.
Yeah. So
it seems like it was receptive though.
Yeah,
so
it was.
What was your opening line? Like, what did you do?
Oh yeah. So I didn't see her going to my car. Apparently, she was putting her cart to the side of Walmart, I guess, and she was walking, and I noticed her, like the light from the building reflected her. Like, oh, there she goes. So I walked up to her. And I was like, hey, excuse me, how are you? And she already opened like big smile.
Oh.
How are you? Like, and she told me her name, and she asked me, yeah, how are you? And she just told me she was doing good. And then I said, what's your name? She gave it to me, and she asked me of mine, and it just happened. It just started talking, and and we just start flowing and things like that. And it wasn't hard. I mean, it wasn't. How can I say it? It didn't feel like it was forced or anything. Like, you know, it was just like difficult to do. It went pretty smooth, but cool. I normally don't really approach women like at nighttime where you better, because you hear stories and stuff, but she was, you know, so I had to.
Good. That's good. I think
I'm quite curious why you asked that.
Well, because one, I would love to know how you indicate to a guy that you're interested without pursuing. I think that's the hardest line to walk as a woman. It's like, you want the guy to pursue, but then it's like, how do I say I'm interested, but it's not creepy, but we haven't talked yet? So then, like, I've heard the eye contact smile. Like, there's this guy that's like viral on Instagram right now, and he's I forgot his acronym for it, but he's basically like, look away, and then look back. And he's like, that was the way that you could like indicate.
That's a good way, yeah.
Or like looking, smiling with eye contact, and then doing that. But that's the reason why I asked. But
I think, go ahead, keep going.
Last thing, and then I'll. But I think guys have this expectation where, like, because they see all these women online that are like, oh, this guy's creepy. He's like, you know, he came up to me and asked me for my number. That's the minority. Every single female friend I have is dying for a guy to come up and walk up and ask for their number. So, like, to any guy that's listening, like, please come ask. Yeah. Like, don't let the, like, one TikToker that went viral for in a gym and, like, freaked out on some guy because he asked her out. Like, that's not the majority.
Yeah.
Like, the majority would be excited, or if they have somebody, they'd politely say no, and then they'd be glowing the rest of the day because some guy asked them out, and they'd be like telling their boyfriend, like, somebody tried to pick me up at Walmart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And I believe that. I believe that women do like when guys approach them. I know there's like that few in between that might think we're weird or something wrong with us, but I don't like how I don't like when women think that way, because that's the normal way of doing it. How you expect for us to become something, possibly, if it's God's will, if you don't want me to approach you, you know? So I encourage every guy too listening, stop being scared. And if you see someone you like or that's attractive to you and you want to at least see who this person is, go and approach. I'm big on approaching. I'm big on and look, I'm not trying to peacock my feathers. Oh, I'm bigger, but I don't really. I'm just saying that in life you have to take opportunities when they come and when they present yourself. If you see a lady and she's open and you think you look pretty well, and it's an opportunity right there, and you have the opportunity to do something, like say something. Don't let the opportunity pass. You might not get the opportunity again. And then too, you're going to be dealing with thoughts in the back of your mind, like, what if I would have approached her? What would the answer could have been, But yeah, I'm big on if someone, even if it's someone that's not giving me eye contact, if I gave them eye contact, or if I see them and they don't see me, like we're gonna see what happens. I'm big on taking risks. And yes, I'm not passing all of these. Of course, people might be like, "Oh, Tyren, like he get." No, like I get a lot of I get rejections. I think that's just the game. That's one thing that I believe guys are scared of. They're scared of rejections, and they scared for a girl to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I have a boyfriend," or "I'm sorry, I'm not interested." Like why do we act like that's like someone stabbing a knife in our chest or something? Like that's the worst that can happen. They tell you, "I'm not interested," or "I have a boyfriend." Okay. Like there's someone else out there.
Right.
It's not 100 people that live in this world. It's 8 billion something people.
Yeah. That's true, for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder why we take rejection so personally.
I don't know why. Yeah.
I guess maybe it's like they're rejecting me.
But to answer your question, give them looks. Yeah.
Okay. So just like constantly be darting over that way. Like
no, be normal with it and be smooth.
Don't be creepy.
Yeah, be normal with it. But yeah, it's just back and forth. Like let him know that you're looking at him.
Okay.
And then us guys, she's looking at me a lot.
Okay. So the problem is that like I'll look, but then it's like as soon as he looks back, it's like, oh God, he's looking. Like let me look away. Like that's probably not the thing. Like it should. Well, yeah. Like,
I mean that's. So you're thinking you're supposed to keep looking when they look?
Are you? I don't know. Oh. I don't know.
I mean, I think maybe one time do it, kind of give it a little bit longer look, so y'all can kind of get that connection with the eyes looking at each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, as many looks as you can, because we as guys, we know that's one sign to, hey, go say something.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, so you found the person, you've talked to them, you're getting to know them. What are some qualities that a man of God's looking for in a future spouse? So
it's so many qualities. It's, someone who is, of course, loyalty. Loyalty is a really big one, actually.
Yeah.
They care for you enough not to disrespect you by cheating on you or behind the scenes talking to other males or other people without your consent and hiding things like that's a big red flag. And I don't think there's any guy out here in the world that won't. No, how can I say it? I don't think there's any guy out here that do not want a loyal woman. If I find a guy that say, "Oh, I don't care," something's wrong with that guy. I'll be honest. But yeah, I think that's big. Someone who put God first. So, and when I say that, I'm saying they put God first so much that they're helping you get closer to God. If you're falling off, if you didn't read your devotional, if you didn't pray this morning, if they can see that you're letting the enemy take over in your life, they should be there encouraging you that, hey, you got this. Like, have you consulted God with this? They're encouraging you to get in the faith, work your faith. So actually switch that around. Put God first, number one, and then, loyal. Someone who is submissive. Now this might
start ruffling some feathers.
This is about to ruffle a lot of feathers, and I'm aware.
What does that mean to you? Submissive.
Submissive to me means someone who listens and receptive and understands her role.
Which is, I'm for it, by the way. Like,
Okay.
I'm for gender roles.
No, I understand. No, because when I said that, it came out so smooth that but the way I said that, I know people watching right now and they're like, what? Yeah. But someone to know her roles and understand the level of authority and leadership that we as men provides. Know that it's even written in the Bible that the man he's the leader of the household. So not trying to be the leader, overtake her husband or just about whoever, as the leader of the decisions or things like that. Yes, you have your choice, you have your voice and what you believe should happen, and the things that we should do. I understand that. And if anything, we welcome you to voice your opinions on things. But if it's something that I see or we as men see that is for the betterment of the relationship, for the sacredity of the relationship, anything that will protect us, then they are receptive and understand. And if they were going to go do something, they're like, I understand. Even though I do want to do this, I will listen to you, and I will not do this. I will not wear this. I won't go this place when I know that I'm in a relationship, doing single activity, and stuff like that. So when I say submissive, that's what I mean. I'm not saying controlling for any girls out there that's like, oh, he's a controller. That's what he is. No, I'm not saying controlling. Controlling is you're not allowing your lady to do anything that, like, hey, whatever I say is what's going to happen. Right. That's not healthy. It should be you guys are like a team. Y'all talk about things, and you see where we can agree at things and disagree at things, and work together. That's how the relationship should be. Work together. It's not like everything I say is what is right, and it's not. So not a dictatorship. So
right. I think that's huge, and I think women crave the traditional gender roles, generally speaking, in my circle of friends. But it takes a lot of trust to have that, because then it's like, do I trust this person to follow them blindly? Because that's kind of almost what it needs to be. Yeah. And I think that that's where it starts to fall apart, at least for myself in previous relationships, where it's like, I don't trust this person. I don't trust their leadership. So then I would try to control and lead. And so I think that...
What would break the trust?
Lack of character.
Okay.
Like seeing them make decisions that would be 100% against what I would think would be the good decision. Okay. And having evidence for that. Like not just saying something. Yeah. Like, oh, he picked a blue instead of red. It's like, no, like this is morally wrong. Like you shouldn't be doing that. Or immaturity. Immaturity, yeah. That's a big one too. Because I think in order for somebody to lead you, they have to be somewhat ahead of you. You know what I mean? Or at least that you trust them at a minimum. So I think that something that the men have such a great and amazing opportunity to provide for a woman is what we all want. It was where we can shut our brains off. Yeah. Like how amazing is it to have a significant other that when you're with them, you can just be like, I don't have to worry about it. He has it. That's what we all crave. That's what we want. Yeah. And it's finding that balance though. Exactly. And being able to share like, hey, like even if it's business related, like I don't have a good feeling about this person. I can't tell you exactly what, but like something is off. And like learning to trust her intuition too. Cause like when male and female come together, woo, it's powerful. It is. And I think there's a big reason why we have those differences is because where I'm weak with the femininity, you're strong in the masculinity, vice versa. And so it's like, that's how it is with how it's supposed to be with relationships.
I believe so as well. And we as men, we want to be, like you said, you shut your brain off and be like, oh, I'm taken care of. He got me. I had to worry about nothing. We leave a restaurant late at night. You're safely guarded. I'm aware, looking around, making sure nobody, no crazy person is around, snooping around. Right.
That's everything.
Got the door for you. Yeah. Walking the right side of the street, taking care of the place, making sure, it's just being a leader, being a protector, because that's what we really are. We're supposed to be the protector. And the lady is like that. She takes care of the house, take care of the place. She is just that motherhood, you know,
Bringing
just that
peace,
yes, things like that. We love femininity. Femininity. I keep getting that word wrong every time I say it, but we love that.
Yeah,
So
for sure, they complement each other well. And you saying that, like the protection side, I think that's providing and protecting, to like sum it up. But
yeah,
anytime that I've been in a intimate relationship, or even like getting to know somebody, and he's been like preemptive in that, it's just been like, whoa, like it sets him apart from others very quickly.
Yeah.
I shared this on our podcast that got deleted, but I'll share it again. There was a moment where I was on a date, and it clearly didn't work out with this person for many reasons, but this one moment I did like about him. And I was walking, and I was about to walk into the street to like cross it. We were walking after dinner, and he like grabbed my arm, and I was just like, excuse you? Like, I literally looked at him like, I had the audacity, like, that you just grabbed, and then a car went by, and he like stopped me from going into traffic. And then all of a sudden I was just like, oh wow, like he's like protecting me, you know what I mean? And then it was like instantly attractive, and I was like, oh wow. So I think like,
never mind.
Literally, I was like, he just saved my life.
Yeah.
So even though that might be a little dramatic, it's an example of like how that is so attractive and something that I know so many women want. Like, for example, another scenario where we were different person on a date, and we were watching a movie. And so I went over to this person's house, and he had a firearm out, and he like brought it next to him. And I was in, because I conceal carry almost everywhere. Like, for me, firearms are a pretty big point to like be able to protect myself. So that's always something I'm thinking about. Like, okay, like the person could come through this door. Like, where would I exit if I'm in a restaurant? Like, where's the exits? Where concealment coverage? Like, where can I go? And the fact that he literally was just like, hey, like, it's his home, but he like literally brought it out there, and he's like, I just, like to have it close, so if I need it, it's there. Mm-hmm. Instantly, one of the first moments I ever had where I was just like, I don't have to think. He's got it. I'm done. I don't have to be like, what if somebody comes through this door? How do I get out? I was literally like, I can shut my brain off. Like, I don't have to worry about this. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I actually like really enjoyed a movie too. I'm not gonna even lie to you. Like, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
So that, for an example of like being able to provide the ability for somebody to shut their brain off, women specifically, dude, we crave that.
Wow.
So
thank you for giving me that key point right then, so I can know.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, so we kind of went through how we know. Oh, wait. No, we didn't go through this one. This was one of the questions I had.
Yeah.
So, like, on the girl side, what are some things that we can see in a guy to know that he's interested?
From a girl's side, what are some things? Someone who is not playing games.
Okay. Someone
who is not misdirecting you on their intentions, Mm-hmm. Somebody who has a clear goal of where they want the relationship to go, or what they want. Mm-hmm. Is everything going well on your computer, by the way?
I'm like, I was panicking low key, but yeah, we're still good. We're good.
Okay. I noticed your face.
And I was like, oh my gosh. Because last time it cut off and we lost everything. But no, we're good. I just had a little panic. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good.
We're good.
I read the facial expression.
He's not playing games.
Yes.
What does playing games look like, though?
Playing games is just, you do not know where this is going. He's not open. He's not clear with communication. He's telling you, he might be fluffing your ears like, hey, I see something between us. This can go long. But at the same time, his actions are not lining up.
Okay.
So whenever someone tell you certain things, look at their actions. See, it's matching up. He's very, of course, like leading with lust and not leading with love. And trying to bait you to do certain things, like stuff like that. That's just those are games. So if someone is doing that, they might find you attractive or like having you around, but they're not really interested in trying to take it to another level, like closer to marriage and things like that.
Mm-hmm. So basically what I'm hearing is if a guy's interested, he's going to pursue.
Yes, he's going to pursue you. He's going
to text. He's going to follow up. He's going to be persistent.
Good morning text.
Oh, really?
Yes, good morning text. Yeah, he's going to Well, of course, other guys have their suave, how they do things. Some guys don't do good morning texts, but I know I do. How are you doing? How's your day? Being a gentleman. If that's the thing right there, and this literally just came out of nowhere. You want a gentleman. If a guy is not a gentleman, that should be a red flag, because how he talk to you and the things he say, and if he's not checking up on you, those are things you want to vet out. You want to see things like that. You want to notice things like that, because a gentleman normally is someone who respects you, to not talk to you any type of way, to handle you a certain way, to you come with a problem, or hey, I'm just not emotionally there today, or things like that, and he's like, oh, not texting you back, or texting you back late, and not really caring about that's not gentleman-like things. So if you get signs like that, that person's not seriously interested in you. So the opposite of that, if a person is there for you when you're emotionally down, I know women are more emotional than guys. So if he's there for you when you're emotionally down, reach out to talk with you without you like starting a conversation, like he's trying to check up on you. Even like if you don't have to always start the conversation about something. He's taking initiative to say something. All those characteristics shows that person is really interested in trying to take it further.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and sure. Wanting to spend time with you, not from a lustful standpoint, but from a trying to bond and get to know you and see what you like, what you're interested in, getting to know you basically. So yeah.
Okay, I like that for sure. So like, what can a girl, like if you were giving advice to a girl and you're like, this is how to stay out of a situationship, what would you say?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. So I would say, I'm sorry to take more longer for me to say this, because before I answer this, I just think about so much in my life, but because like I'm gonna answer this question, but I'm gonna answer it a different way. A lot of women, not all, but a lot of women, they're not serious. I feel like they're not serious. I will really say this, by the way, and this might be extravagant. This might be Tyren, you're off the charts, but I think men are more serious when it comes to relationships than women.
Interesting.
I know that you would think it would be the opposite, right? But it's just, from my experience, majority of the time, like I am the one trying, and I'm trying to see how things are going. Let's build. But there's just like taking cuts and just like not really showing me that they have intention of trying to build something. And it's like they want certain things, but it's not things that will grow like a relationship or anything. It's just, I think if you want to stay out of a situationship, you need to show the guy that you're really interested as much as he's interested in you. Ask him how he's doing. Hey, how you're doing? How was your day? And you also being upfront and telling him your expectations or what you're looking for. Do
you think that would scare a guy that's interested if a girl's like, hey, like I see like a long-term future with you? Like, would that scare a guy away, or only if he probably didn't want that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It will only scare away the ones that since the beginning didn't really want that anyway.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's why it's important to, at the beginning, start off with what you really want, because if you hold it too long, it can hurt you.
For sure. Yeah. Or trying to play cool. Like, I think that's something that a lot of women, including myself, have done in the past, where it's just like, oh yeah, like I'm not really that interested.
Yeah,
like, we're just cool,
Exactly. And then to just, if you want to be a friend, say that you want to be a friend. Don't hold it on forever. And I'm thinking something's happening. Then at some point throughout the long timeline, you're like, honestly, I see us as, I'm not really looking for something. Maybe we can be friends, whatever. That's just like, okay, so this whole time when I thought something was happening, I invested all this time, invested all of these things just for it to go nowhere. Because like, I'm be honest, like for Tyren, like I'm at a point in my life where, okay, I'm okay with friends, but like I'm really looking for something serious.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I want something serious, and I'm just noticing a lot of ladies, a lot of them, not many, not all of them, but a lot of them are. It's not they're getting themselves into this predicament because they're not serious. I just feel like they're not serious.
Yeah, I get that. I think I agree with you. I think it's twofold.
Yeah.
I think that one half is not serious and enjoys the validation.
And also the benefits. It's kind of like, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. I'm noticing that.
You're good.
I need to do better at that. It's like they want the benefits of like a boyfriend, but don't want the actual thing.
Right. Like, or they don't want to commit to the guy.
Yes, and it's just
Yeah, for sure. It's huge. I think another side of it too is that for me on my side, like with situationships or talking to people longer than I probably should have, it was like a self-esteem thing where it was like, this might be the best I could do. Or I put this person so high on a pedestal that it's like, I put myself so low that it was like, oh yeah, like it's okay if they like text you once a week. That's fine. Like I haven't heard from them in a month. And then they text back like, oh my gosh, yeah, like how are you too? You know what I mean? And then it's like, you look back and you're like, oh wow. Like I've heard a quote and he said that actions are a language. And I think that if we take everything away from like what they're saying, but we just look at the actions of the person, that can be a true indicator. And I heard another quote for on the other side, like say if you're a guy or a girl and you're like talking to somebody and you're like, why won't I commit? Like, am I only here for the validation? Something that's super helpful is to ask yourself, if somebody said I'm just like this person, would it be a compliment or would I be offended? That right there will show you like, am I actually interested in this person or am I only interested in what they can do for me? Like what they're giving me in that moment. And so that was a super helpful, like introspective question.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot. Okay. So we've kind of established that it's not like a turn off for a guy, for a girl to be open about liking him.
No, it's not. Okay. If anything, that's the greatest thing that you could ever do.
Dang. Okay. All right. Good to know. I don't know why it feels like that's the opposite though. Like it feels like you should be coy and like cool about it, but you're saying like, no.
That's the problem though.
Yeah.
Because everyone, both sides trying to play that game, that role, and then nothing ever happens because I know this is guys, and I've done the same thing myself. Like you're trying not to text as quick or fall back and like act like you're not interested but you really are. That stuff is poisonous. It needs to stop. It's toxic, really. And I don't know who started that type of thing, but we need. I love something where it's like the girl is interested and she texting, the guy's interested and he texting. Not have to be very quick back and forth, but I'm saying like there's no games. That's where games. That's games right there. That's a definition of games. When both are acting like they're not interested and trying to play cool, but they really are interested. And I
agree.
Stop.
I'm glad that you said it was toxic. I feel like it's so common that we think that it's okay. And I read a book called Outdated by JP.
I think I heard of it before.
Super good.
Okay.
And he was saying like the more you play those games, the more you're going to attract somebody else that plays those games to you. And I was like, oh, that's good. So yeah, I get that. I used to be the person that was like, oh, they texted me 22 minutes ago, so it needs to be at least 25 before I text.
I'm glad you say that because I didn't know that there were. Well, I knew guys did it, but I didn't know girls did the same thing.
Oh, for sure.
Wow. So now I open my eyes up on
But then if the guy wouldn't, I would stop. I only held the line if he did kind of thing.
Okay.
Not anymore, but whenever I did do that, it'd be like if he texted immediately back, then I'd be like, oh, I guess we're not doing that. So then I'd do it. You know what I mean?
Who started this thing? It has to stop.
I agree. Yeah. I don't know who started it. I don't know. It's there's so many unspoken rules that make no sense.
You know what that's like? And I just thought about this. That's like us having a conversation right now, right? We're not texting, but we're talking. It's like you ask me a question, and then I just sit here. Yeah, and just for 22 minutes, you're like, then I say something.
Yeah.
How weird that conversation would be.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah. It's because kids don't call anymore. That's why. No, I get that. It's rough.
You guys stop doing that.
Agreed. All right. Last question. Paul talks about singleness being a gift in the Bible. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. And funny thing, you know how I told you about the lady that I met at Walmart? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so nothing came from that. But she she told me that of course I was like, hey, can I have your number, like, so we can talk again? And she was like, I don't want to, give you any false hope or anything. I'm honestly in my single season because I believe God put me here in this season to evangelize and to bring people closer to Him. And I was like, whoa. And it was like a power. I felt something when she said that, and I could see the Spirit of God on her, like up and down. By the way, too, I didn't tell you all the whole interaction, but she was like, "Yeah, I feel like I'm doing this for God right now." So so she don't want to give me false hope. I respect stuff like that, and then so I think it's possible. I think it is possible, and I think that it's a real thing. For me, I don't think so, but I think it's something.
For some people, it's a gift. I had to
throw that in. Yeah, I think it is a gift for some people who can withstand it and who's not easily, turned to their fleshly desires and things like that. But I know Paul didn't he say that if you're single, because the benefit of being single is a close relationship with God, and undistracted relationship with God, but yeah, and that being in a relationship could be a distraction from God. So which we can see, obviously, in your relationship with your significant other, most of the times, it's not that you're putting them over God, but in your mind, throughout work, throughout the day, who you're thinking about. Especially if they're not texting back quick, you're thinking about them. So, I think it's some people can do it, but
I agree.
Not me.
I think even the season though of singleness, like even if it's not the gift of singleness itself, like being celibate for the rest of your life, but the season, at least for me, I can attest to saying like I am way closer to God than I was before. You know what I mean? Like I'd be lying if I said no. And
of course, yeah, okay, yes, because in my single season, of course, right now I'm making bigger strides and reading the Bible, getting closer to God, and feeling like I'm getting close. Yes, of course, yeah, it works, but I'll guess just a lifetime. Where it's just your full life.
Yeah. Which there are people that are gifted that way. I'm not one of them.
I know God is listening to that. I'm not one of them.
No, I'm good. Thank you, but no thank you. I would love to use different gifts. But yeah. But ultimately, like if it did come down to that, say if like God was here and he was like, hey, would you choose me or would you choose a relationship? Like
God. Yeah,
you'd have.
Because that'd be crazy to think about that, but to debate that would show God how much of a value he really is to you.
For sure. Yeah. And then do I think a relationship provides something that God can't? That's the question. Because ultimately, if God could provide everything, then it would be a no-brainer.
The really reason why relationships and having a significant other is like very desirable because you have a tangible person that you can share your life with, and you have someone that you're with, like like a person beside you. Of course, God the same way, he's there, but he's invisible. He's not tangible, he's invisible. So
it makes me think of that verse though where Jesus was like, I have to leave, and they were like, don't leave. Like they want the physical version of him. He's like, I'm going to give you something so much better, like the Holy Spirit. So it's like maybe it's because our understanding of something physical, we put so much more value on something we can see over versus like something else that we may not be able to see but is so much better. Because that's how he put it, is like the Holy Spirit. He's like, dude, I have to leave to give you something so much better. So I wonder if it's because of our perspective where we see somebody physical. I'm talking about myself. I'm thinking about me being mad at God the other day. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, why? But maybe that's it. Like,
are you okay with like, how do I say this? Solitude?
I love it. I kind of prefer it in seasons. I used to not be though. That was something that came with time.
Okay, because I think somebody's perspective on solitude shows a lot about them. If you can't love yourself or be by yourself, then do you really love yourself? I don't think it's always about having, yes, as much as we do want a partner, I do want someone too, of course, but like the most important person to love is yourself. Go places yourself, enjoy foods yourself, go treat yourself, be with yourself, learn yourself, develop things, learn crafts, build yourself, and I think you have to, because if you don't love yourself, trying to add someone in your life, it's not going to fix that.
Right. Yeah.
It's going to make it actually worse. You know, because now you're using people as security blankets, which I experienced before. Like, you don't want a security blanket in your life, because when they leave for whatever reason, you're going to feel back destituted and, oh, I need somebody. You start getting with anybody just to fill that space. You know, that's a person that it's not comfortable in their own skin. And that's a bad place to be. You know, you'll always be lonely. You can be with somebody and still be lonely. You know, so just because someone in your life doesn't mean that you're, I'm not alone. Yeah, you might not be alone, but doesn't mean you're not lonely, you know, because you don't really love yourself.
Yeah.
Dang, that's deep. That 100%. Is, yeah.
I think remembering too that like the source of love, God, it literally says God is love, is in us. Yeah. So we're looking for something out in the world to fill something that's like a God-sized hole. And that's whenever we become disappointed, because it's like, it's not going to turn out good.
And maybe that's why God is making us wait, because he's trying to see if we're going to put our actual trust in him and trust that he is our companion and that he is the missing piece in our life. He's trying to see, are we going to accept him as that missing piece? To see, you know, I think it's kind of a test, and I believe God do test us, because we see in the scriptures where he tested Abraham with sacrificing his son. I think he tests to see how we handle situations. Yeah.
I think the reason God tests though is never because he doesn't know what we would do. Obviously he does. Yeah. I think he wants us to basically come to an understanding with ourselves. Yes. Where we're finally like, okay, I'll let it go. You know what I mean? Yes. So, and I do agree with you though. Like, I think the waiting season is not 100% purposeful. Like, God does not waste a moment. And it even says in the scripture that there's a scripture that talks about like how he makes up for the lost time, like sevenfold. And so I don't think that God at all, you know, is just like random number. Let me get on this like random generator and be like, all right, 10 years, you're waiting 10 years. Have fun. Like next, you know? Yeah. So I do agree. And I think that it's lessons for us in the moment. I think it's for our relationship with Christ. I think it's for us to become the person that can actually hold the blessing. Like if he gave me any of the blessings like that I have today, if he gave them to me even a year ago, I wouldn't be able to hold them.
Exactly. So that makes you realize that maybe the waiting season is just a maturity growing stage. He's trying to mature you, wait till you be mature enough to handle, like I was saying earlier today, the gift that he's trying to bring in your life. If you put a 13-year-old in a car and they're like, oh, I want to drive, and you're like, okay, give them keys to a vehicle, and they're not ready to drive, that will be doing more danger to them than good, right? Yeah, 100%. They're not ready for it, you know? So you can give someone something, you know, thinking that you're doing good to them because they want it, but really you could be damaging them and you don't even know it because they're not ready for it. God, I'm sorry. I hear myself speak, and it's like, that's powerful. So maybe God's looking at us like that. He's like, God, I want this, Lord. You're on your knees every night. Oh, God.
He has a camera. He knows.
He's doing that. And because he's like, you're not ready. You're still not ready, you know? And like I said, we need a self-examination of our own life and areas that we need to work on to make sure we're right in areas so that we could be prepared for whenever God gives us our gift. Because don't ever think that God don't have nothing special for you, like somewhat special for you. I want to tell you that, like.
Well, thank you.
Because I can see it, by the way, too. I can see it. And I think I know where you're gonna. This is coming out of nowhere. I mean, just coming. I know this is like you probably didn't expect this, but I think I see where you're. I know where you're going in. Well, I don't know, but I think I know where you're going to meet yours.
Where do you think? Enlighten me.
Well, I mean, I believe at Watermark you're going to meet somebody. I believe. I see it. Yeah. Somebody there. I don't know. You're an outspoken person. You're friendly, and you meet a lot of people, and people attract to your energy. You know, and I could just see you meeting someone. I don't know, an event, a Porsche night.
Hey, let's hope so.
a Sunday service, yeah, it's going to happen. It's I believe someone there you're going to run into, and you just just believe in that, and I know it's going to happen. You just haven't, and it already happened. You just haven't reached the time in your life to experience it yet. For me, I know it's going to happen sometime soon. I feel it because I'm getting closer to God, and I'm healed from my last experience, and I know, and I feel like something is, I feel like God is working something out, but we just gotta just continue to, honor God and just pray and wait, because your waiting season is not in vain. I want to let you know that it's not in vain.
Thank you.
It's not
Yours either, and I think
Thank
anybody listening too, and that led me to feel like we should probably pray over whoever's listening to this while they're in their like waiting season.
Okay.
Are you okay with that? Like, I'll start, and then if you wanted to take over, and then we can finish with that.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. Awesome. All right, I'll go ahead and get us started, and then we'll end for a prayer for anybody that's listening that's in a waiting season right now, and maybe they need some encouragement.
Okay.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Dear Father in heaven, thank you so much for the opportunity for us to pray together virtually like this. Lord, I pray for the heart that's on the other side of this, that feels hopeless, that feels confused, frustrated, fearful, any of those things, and they're in a waiting season and they don't see your hand clearly yet. I pray that you encourage them, that you bring the peace that surpasses all understanding over them in their life. I pray that you show them how tangible you are in their everyday life, that their value and worth isn't found in a relationship. It's not found in another human being, but it's found in our identity that is in you. I pray for the person to find them. I pray for clarity, not only in their path, but in the path of the person who's meant to pursue them. And I pray for them to be able to fully trust you in that process, that no matter the time or the circumstances, that they trust your goodness, your faithfulness. Lord, you say that how much more does our Father in heaven know to give good gifts if our Father on earth does? I pray that they are able to lean into and understand your nature in this season.
Yes, Lord God, I want you to touch everyone who's listening, touch everyone's heart who's listening to this right now, God, to let them understand that you still see them, and that just because it's a delay, that they're not denied, God, that you see them and you have someone in their life, in their journey, and that you are going to bless them, God. And I ask that you just allow everyone listening right now to just trust in you, and to just build up that faith, God, and to not give up. God, you said that do not get weary in good doing, for you will reap if you do not give up. Do not get weary. You just keep going, and it's just I ask you to touch everyone's heart right now that's listening, God, and just allow them to, just get closer to you, God, and to trust in you, and just build a better relationship with you, God, because we know that through a relationship with you, that that's what you want, God, and that you will bless us and you will show your hand, God. And God, I just know you're going to do great things through all of us, God, and just let us be more patient and just wait on you, God. Thank you, Lord.
We pray all these things in Jesus Christ's
name.
Amen. Ooh, that's good.
That was good.